Today, I have a new video in my favorite series, which is new and must-have crafty supplies, where I check out some supplies that I haven't tried yet, and I share the ones that I love with you. But the best part about today's video is that I have a huge Destash giveaway. I have tons of supplies that need to find new homes so that I can bring in the 2026 card making supplies and have room for them here. So for those of you with a US address, please watch to the end of the video and I will share the details about the giveaway then. But for now, let's jump into some of the new supplies that I've tried out recently. First up, I have the Sealed by Spellbinders Clear Seal Maker tool. This tool can be used to create clear wax seals, which then you can place over things, under things, and create a really fun effect. These small seal sticks come in the seal maker box, but you can get refills that are much longer. And what you'll notice about them is that they are crystal clear. I've never seen a stick like that before, so they definitely have come up with a formulation that works really, really well for clear seals. So the first thing you're going to want to do is insert one of the sticks and turn the seal maker on and leave that aside for a little bit while it warms up. Next, I did want to show you this sealed glass mat. Now, I know I already have a glass mat. You can definitely use whatever glass mat you have, but this is the Spellbinders sealed glass mat. And so I just wanted to show it to you that you can get something that's small for your space. It doesn't have to be a big, ginormous glass mat. Just remember to peel off the plastic layer before you get started. This mat is about 6 by 6 inches. I love the curved corners. It's got little feet at the bottom so that it will stay in place wherever you are working, whether it's on your desk or on another mat that you're working on. So I wanted to show these both to you because I purchased these myself, and so I wanted you to see everything that was available. So these were not given to me. These were something that I wanted to have, so I purchased. So once the seal maker is warmed up, you'll place an amount of that seal stick down on the glass mat and try and put it in the shape of the seal that you're going to use. So if I have a square, I'm trying to do it in about a square shape and then place that clear seal stamp on top. Now, all of the wax seals from Spellbinders will work in this process, and you just want to press down maybe a little bit harder than you normally do with the melted wax. It's got a little bit of a thicker consistency than the wax, so you'll just want to press down a little bit, make sure that you're imprinting the stamp into that clear seal maker. Now for a larger seal and an oval seal, I'll create more of an oval shape. You can use any of the wax seal stamps, including design stamps. I like to use these blanks. Basically, I have a small circle, a small square, and then I have an oval frame with a design around the edge. The clear wax seals take a little bit longer to set than the traditional wax does. I like to just leave it. So I'm making a whole bunch of them, and then as I pull off those stamps, I'm leaving them on the glass mat until they're completely cooled and set. They will be easy to remove once they're ready, but beforehand you might struggle with them a little bit. So if you start struggling, I would just leave it for a little while longer and see how easy that was. That's just because I left it for the longest amount of time there. And as you can see, the stamp is crystal clear. Now, I know people will say, well, it just looks like a glue gun. I just use my glue gun. But I have never seen a glue gun create a crystal clear look like that. So if you don't have one, or if you'd like to try one, these sticks are great with this seal maker. It is created to be used with wax seal stamps. Here's the silver Bullion from Spellbinders, and it's basically like a compact powder. And There is a little applicator in the set when you get it, but I think it's a lot easier just to use your finger. You get a lot more control that way, and you can put on as much as you want, and it doesn't sort of fall into places that you don't want it. So I just like to go around the edges of these so that you can see the shape of the wax seal, and it adds metallic shine. They're super shiny. Look at that shine from the silver. It's absolutely beautiful. Here I used it on the, let's see, it's a rectangular stamp that has a little frame around it. So those frames are really fun, and I'll show you something fun you can do with them in just a minute. So here's how they look once they have the silver bullion on it. Just like traditional wax seals, you can use paint pens around the edges. I just like this bullion. It's really easy to apply, and it doesn't dry out the way that some of those pens do. Okay, a really fun way to use those frames is to use some of the Spellbinders Rub-Ons. So I cut out the one I want, then I peel it off the backing and place it down on some cardstock. Next, I'll take a bone folder. They do come with a little stick inside. I tend to like to use a bone folder. I feel like this bone folder from Altenew actually is very smooth and rubs without indenting the paper too much. So I really get a good impression from the rub-ons when I use that Altenew bone folder, but you can use any bone folder or the stick that's included in the rub-ons as well. So now I have that little rub-on, and I'm going to take the matching dies, which cut out a tiny little rectangle. Then I put a little bit of the wax seal maker right in the center of this wax seal and place that little paper down. So now we've got a cute little Christmas decorated frame with an adorable image in the center. I'll do this again with the oval so that you can see both of them. Those little dies I definitely keep together and keep them with certain things so that I don't lose them, because they are small dies. So make sure you have a handle on those. And I like to keep tape on them as well so that I don't lose it as easily. And then this time I actually just put a little adhesive on the back and pressed it down. So either way is fine. The other way I like to use this wax seal maker is to add some clear wax seal down onto a glimmered piece of cardstock. So I had a piece of cardstock, I ran it through with the glimmer and a glimmer plate and foil, created that background, and now I'll place some of that clear seal maker on top of that. Look at how you can see through perfectly, and then I'll place a stamp right on top of that and then let it cool. This is a great way to have really custom looks where you can create lots of different things underneath the wax seal stamps, whether it's a glimmer or a piece of pattern paper. I like the glimmer because you get that additional shine. It just looks so cute. Instead of using loose glitter with this wax seal maker, I like to use glitter cardstock. It's a lot easier, it's a lot less cleanup, and all you do is place the wax seal maker on top of that glitter cardstock, place the stamp on top, and then let it cool. I also tried out an embossed piece of cardstock. Now, I think this would have come out a lot clearer if I had inked up that embossed background with a darker color of ink. You'd be able to see it a lot better, but it's still a very cool concept that you can just really use these wax seals on top of pretty much anything. If you have a photo that you love, you could do that. And once you have them cooled, you can peel off that wax seal stamp and then just cut around the outside of these. So just take a little detail pair of scissors and trim around the outside. That's the embossing one. I think it's very cool looking, even though it would definitely look better with some dark ink on top of that embossed background. Now I'll use the bullion once again, this time to show the image of the stamp. So there's a little teeny tiny snowflake, a little teeny tiny star, and then the silver around the edge as well. Other thing that you can do here is to add some of the clear seal maker down onto the glass mat and then place things inside. Now, I don't love using loose glitter, but you could absolutely do that. Instead, I decided to use shaker beads. So these are from Pretty Pink Posh, and they're white shaker beads. So I sprinkled them inside that clear wax and then placed the wax seal stamp right on top. And this is just so much fun because it's clear, you can see those little beads floating around inside, and I just think it's such a fun look. So there's so many different ways to use this. Here's a little piece of paper from the Say Cheese Classic Mouse Christmas, and I placed a little bit of the wax seal maker right on top of one of the images, and then placed that small circle on top of that. So it basically creates a wax seal of that image. And that's why I'm saying you could also do a photo or anything else that you really love. Even just plain pattern paper would look really, really cute. But I love this little image because it's mini inside a Christmas wreath. And then you have the wax seal on top, so it's shiny. And then you can place some gold paint pen around the outside. Isn't that adorable? Oh my gosh, I am like addicted to this. This is so much fun. I am just, as you can see, I am making clear wax seals. I just cleaned my mat off with a wet wipe. But I have heard from Robin at Spellbinders that if you get anything smeared on there, you can use a little bit of antibacterial hand gel and it comes right off. I put a little bit of adhesive behind the wax seal since it has a little image, and I added it to a couple of little wax seal elements as well as a sentiment on top. This is so much fun to create with. I will be using it a lot along in the future. Next up, we have the Simon Hurley Stellar Inks. So maybe this is not brand new to you. Maybe you already have these. If you don't, I am so excited about these inks. I absolutely love them. I've always loved Simon Hurley's ink, and it's the same ink that they used on the dye ink pads. So those are the felt pads, but this time they put them on foam pads. They also came out with some new colors. I really think that foam pads are a lot easier to use. Personally, I've just gotten used to it, I think, because a lot of the newer inks are those foam pads. They blend beautifully, which is what Simon Hurley inks always did. So you can blend them out, you can stencil with them. You can now, because it's on the foam pad, you could swipe it the way I did across the cardstock and you'll have a really nice opaque look of color. Here I am blending out one of the new colors iced out. Then I'll use High Tide over a stencil. I love this stencil from Simon Hurley. It's a newer one. It's a bunch of stars, and I think stars are so much fun all the time, but they're really pretty around the holidays too. So it's a really nice stencil set that you can use year round and use during the holidays. So now I have the High Tide. I stenciled that over. And next, the second stencil is smaller little sparkly elements. So I'll use a darker color here. I have the new Loch Ness Stellar Ink, and I'm also using the Simon Hurley brushes. Depending on your style of blending, what you like to do, different brushes are going to work for different people. I love these brushes with the Simon Hurley inks. I did splatter some water on there because the Simon Hurley inks are perfect for splattering water and having that reaction. Next up, we have 2 colors of Astro Paste. The 2 new colors of Astro Paste are Unicorn Horn and Phoenix Feathers. So these are 2, they look white in the bottle. They will dry pretty clear, but they will have 2 different effects to them. So I'm adding these to black cardstock because I think on the black they really stand out well, but I'll also add them to white cardstock just so you can see the difference here. And I'm just using a palette knife to spread them around and make sure I have a good amount of both on there. I also have the new Simon Says Stamp Gold Sparkle Paste. I really like the way this looks, and I'm excited to use it a little bit more, especially with stencils. It's both gold and it's got that opaque look, but it also has a sparkle to it. I am using the Unicorn Horn over that second star stencil. I've just shifted it over so that you can see it and it's not on top of the inked background there. So here is the 2 colors. Now it's tough to see here, but you can kind of see on the left-hand side, that's the Phoenix. That's going to be a little warmer in color. The Unicorn horn is going to be a little cooler in color. Here, it's a lot more noticeable. That looks more like gold, and this looks more like a rainbow or blue and purple iridescence. And then you can see the Simon Says stamp gold sparkle paste at the bottom is both gold and sparkly, which is so much fun. I think you sometimes have metallics, but not gold and a sparkle. So this is how it dried on the stencil. It's hard to see in camera, but it is a really pretty look and it is raised as well. Here's the card that I completed with it. You can see I have a clear stamp, wax seal stamp on there. And I also have a sentiment from Simon Hurley and Spellbinders. These are the Waffle Flower background blenders. Now, I've already done a full video on these. I'll make sure to add that to the YouTube description so you can see it. And they're in the storage unit that I like to use, which is from Organize More. Now, Waffle Flower has finished their Black Friday sales, but I have a 10% off coupon that you can use. The coupon code is Rebecca, and you can get these background blenders if you like. There are 3 sets available. It's like that neutrals and then the blues and then the kind of reds. And I keep all of that plus my older Waffle Flower brushes and my Distress water spritzer all in that Organize More container there. And I love the way they look as well. So the background blenders have a different hold than the other brushes that I use. If you place your thumb at the top and wrap your fingers around the brush, you get a very, very controlled look, which means it's smoother than a lot of things that I've done before. So I get the smoothest look from using these, especially for an inked background like this. I think they're so easy to use. Of course, I am using them with Distress Oxide inks, which are pretty easy to blend anyway, but look at how nicely those 2 colors blend together. So I really love those brushes, and I love the Organize More caddy. I cut out that blended background into a little arch and then added one of the clear seals that also has one of the rub-ons they have is a bunch of art designs. So that's pretty neat to add to the center. Next, I have the Glassboard Studio scrapbooking glass mat. So this mat is long. It's more than 24 inches because you can fit 2 12 by 12 pieces side by side. And on each of those 12 by 12 spots, they have measurements for say 4 by 6, 5 by 7, and they have them both for horizontal and vertical. If you're a scrapbooker, this is a dream come true because you can work on a side-by-side layout, both pages at the same time, or you can put one page on the side and put all the things that you're choosing from on the right-hand side. And they also have angles that you can use, diagonals and things like that. So this is a great mat for scrapbookers. Of course, any crafter could use it because the Glassboard Studio mats are amazing. I also have a coupon at Glassboard Studio for you. It is 15% off and the coupon code is Rebecca Keppel. So definitely use that coupon code if you're checking out the Glassboard Studio mats. Any of them it is available for. Now, for those of you who have a valid US address, the giveaway is a number of boxes, large priority mail boxes. I don't know if there's going to be 3 or 4 or even more than that, but I will draw winners randomly from the list that I get from the Google form, which is in the YouTube description box below this video. So you'll fill out the form and then I will randomly draw from that list and email you directly. That's why you'll put your email in that form. Please beware of spammers who try and come on looking like me and commenting that you're a winner and trying to get information from you. I'll never ask for your phone number and I'll never ask for money. So for those of you entering the giveaway, just head down below to the YouTube description box. There'll be a Google form linked in there and just fill that out. Any previous winners know that I like to pack my priority mailboxes with tons of stuff. They tend to be pretty heavy. Everything from gently used supplies to duplicates I've had, all kinds of things. So please enter to win if you have a US valid address, and good luck to you all. I want to thank you so much for stopping by and spending time with me today. Please stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you again soon.